Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. Look, if you're an entrepreneur, you already know that micro, small, and medium enterprises, or MSMEs, are literally the engines driving the whole economy forward. But you also know that having a killer idea and the pure grit to execute it, well, it's not always enough. Access to capital is still the absolute biggest hurdle for most founders. So today, we're diving into a massive, seriously underutilized resource, government business subsidies. Think about it. Are you leaving lakhs of government funding just sitting on the table? Seriously, are you missing out on hidden financial treasures simply because you have no idea these schemes even exist? Every single day, founders take on crazy high-interest debt or give away precious equity to fund their expansions, completely in the dark that the government might actually subsidize a huge chunk of those costs. We're talking about lakhs of rupees in benefits that most business owners never, ever apply for. So, here's our game plan for today. First, we'll uncover this hidden business capital. Then, we'll break down the top growth and expansion grants, followed by funding for your tech and green upgrades. After that, we'll look at the targeted support for empowering women in business. And finally, we'll wrap up with a step-by-step application guide to actually secure these funds. All right, let's jump right into part one, the hidden business capital and unlocking those funds. To really wrap your head around why this money is out there, just think about this number. MSMEs contribute a staggering 30% to India's GDP. 30%. And they employ over 11 crore people. Because of this absolutely massive economic footprint, supporting MSMEs is a top priority for both central and state governments. They literally need you to succeed, which is exactly why they've built these financial frameworks to help you scale up. Now, okay, let's dive into this because there's a crucial distinction we need to clear up right away. When founders hear the word funding, they almost always immediately think of loans, right? But loans mean repayment with interest. Grants and subsidies, on the other hand, are non-repayable financial assistance. It's basically free money linked to specific goals like innovation, boosting exports, or going green. Sometimes you might get a regular loan that includes a subsidy component attached to it, which acts like a partial grant that significantly shrinks your financial burden without the nightmare of paying that specific chunk back. Moving on to part two. Top growth and expansion grants for scaling up. Honestly, government websites can feel like an alphabet soup of acronyms. You practically need a decoder ring to figure them out. So let's translate this into plain English. First up is PMEGP. This one is incredible if you're starting a new manufacturing or service business. It hands you a 15 to 35% margin money subsidy just to help you get off the ground. Pretty sweet, right? Then, if your focus is rural innovation, ASPIRI is absolutely your go-to. And then there's the CGTMSE. Look, if you've ever been denied a bank loan just because you didn't have collateral, this scheme is a game changer. It gives you collateral-free credit guarantees, making bank finance so much easier to get. Plus, depending on where you operate, state governments also offer crazy untapped capital subsidies, electricity duty exemptions, and even SGST reimbursements. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Okay, this sounds great in theory, but does anyone actually get this money? Well, check this out. Over 1 crore credit guarantees have been successfully approved under that CGTMSE scheme alone. We're talking over 10 million approvals. So yeah, this isn't just some bureaucratic fluff hiding on a website. This is real, hard capital flowing straight into real businesses. Let's hit part three, funding tech and green upgrades to future-proof your business. If you're looking to modernize your machinery, maybe automate some processes, or just boost overall productivity, you need to know about the Credit-Linked Capital Subsidy Scheme, or CLCSS. It gives you a flat 15% subsidy, strictly for tech upgrades. On top of that, the government will actually reimburse you for getting those fancy ISO certifications. And hey, if you're leaning into sustainability, like maybe slapping a rooftop solar system on your factory, SIDBI offers specialized green finance loans with significantly lower interest rates. Think about the continuous cycle of internal ESG, that's environmental, social, and governance. It's exactly why those green subsidies are so incredibly important. From setting your initial policies to running audits to finally nailing down those certifications, it's an ongoing loop every modern business needs to adopt. Post-COVID, global supply chains are demanding resilience. They demand sustainability. So adopting this cycle isn't just about saving the planet. It's literally about staying competitive and unlocking new, highly profitable markets. Now, this entire ESG cycle builds right into a very actionable government program called the Zero Defect, Zero Effect, or ZED, certification framework.
It works on a tier system. You've got bronze, which requires hitting 5 parameters, silver jumps up to 14, and gold, that means mastering 20 different parameters, covering the whole shebang from workplace safety right down to natural resource conservation. Getting this badge signals to the entire market that your operations are absolutely top tier.
But here is the real kicker, the massive financial incentive. The government hands out up to an 80% subsidy support just for MSMEs to get this Z certification. No joke, they are literally paying you to improve your own quality control and environmental management. How crazy is that?
All right, Part 4, Empowering Women in Business Through Targeted Support. The contrast in benefits here is really stark, and it's designed to level the playing field. Remember the PMEGP scheme we talked about earlier? Well, while the standard subsidy tops out at 25%, women entrepreneurs get a massive bump, receiving up to 35%. And what about those collateral-free loans under CGTMSE? Women secure a 90% guarantee coverage, compared to the standard 75% for everyone else. Plus, they even get a 10% discount on the annual guarantee fees.
And the targeted support definitely doesn't stop there. Under the public procurement policy, central public sector enterprises are actually mandated to source at least 3% of their annual procurement exclusively from women-owned micro and small businesses. There are also exclusive skill programs like the Mahila Core Yojana. And get this, if you want to expand your reach and show off your products, women entrepreneurs get a 100% subsidy for participating in trade fairs. The standard is 80, but for women, it's fully covered.
Let's bring it all together in Part 5, your step-by-step application guide for actually securing these funds.
Okay, let's walk through this playbook step by step. Step 1 is absolutely non-negotiable, UJAM registration. Over 4.7 crore MSMEs already have it. And listen to me, literally nothing happens without this free, online registration. Step 2, strategically identify the exact scheme that matches your business goal. Please don't just apply for everything blindly. Step 3, double-check your eligibility. The investment limits between micro and small businesses really matter here. Step 4, build a rock-solid, highly structured, detailed project report, or DPR. And finally, Step 5, relentlessly track your application on the portals and make sure you respond to any queries immediately. We also need to talk about the landmines. You've got to watch out for the common pitfalls that'll get your application tossed in the trash. Like I said, applying blindly without understanding a scheme's core objective, instant rejection. Grant committees will take one look at a vague or sloppy project report and throw it right out. And if you have missing documents or your tax and GST compliance is a mess, you're dead in the water. Having clean, pristine financial records is exactly what builds the credibility you need to actually win these grants. So, the crucial point here is captured perfectly by the management legend himself, Peter Drucker. The best way to predict the future is to create it. See, leveraging these government grants isn't just about looking for a handout. It's a highly strategic maneuver. It's about actively taking every single tool available to you and using them to build a competitive, scalable, and totally sustainable future for your business. The right subsidy can literally make or break your project's profitability. So I'm going to leave you with this challenge. Are you going to keep self-funding your growth out of your own pocket, or are you going to let the government help pay for your next major investment? Check your eligibility today and claim the capital your business actually deserves. And hey, for more practical business, tax, and finance updates, make sure to follow Tax and Tech with CA Binu. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you in the next one.